Nissan.com.
Can you hear the roar? Take it in and enjoy. You are looking live at the Summerfest grounds, one of several locations throughout southeast Wisconsin where Harley enthusiasts are converging tonight to celebrate their love of their bikes, the brand, and their lifestyle. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I'm Michelle McCormack. This is a CBS 58 news special, Behind the Chrome. I'm live at another location, the Harley-Davidson Museum, where they have so many bikes that have parked here that they actually, hello there, oh yeah, I hear it, I'm feeling it. Anyhow, they had so many bikes parked here at one point that if you look over here on 6th Street, they had to get special permission from the city of Milwaukee to handle all the extra bikes. You know, the CEO of Harley-Davidson said it himself. The weekend really isn't about him or any other head of corporate. This weekend is to celebrate the riders who have been loyal customers for 110 years. From Australia to Germany to Nebraska, right from our own backyard, this is a global celebration in the birthplace of an iconic motorcycle and a company that has survived the Great Depression, near bankruptcy, union strife, and a recent downturn in the economy. How is this possible? We are giving you the whole story. Harley certainly has taken over Milwaukee, and we are so glad that we've been invited to the party. We have events happening all across the city, and I'm not the only one who's out on the town tonight having a little fun. We have Mike Strelo at the Summerfest grounds, where they're going to be walking this way for the Aerosmith concert. We've got Bill Walsh. He's live at Hal's Harley-Davidson in New Berlin, because you know the dealerships, they throw great individual parties as well. So let's begin with that very noisy scene at the Summerfest grounds and Mike Strelo.
Michelle, this is Party Central for the 110th birthday bash. Dozens of bands, 6 stages. Behind me is the Harley-Davidson Roadhouse stage. Chance the Rapper will be performing in just a few minutes from now. To my right, the massive Marcus Amphitheater. The headliner of the day tonight is Aerosmith. That's right, from rock to rap, country to blues. There's all kinds of music. And one thing I learned when I was standing here back in 1993 reporting from the 90th anniversary is that Harley riders come from all walks of life. Yeah, we're talking doctors and lawyers and teachers, factory workers. There's a lot of leather, a lot of denim out here tonight, and a lot of love for the Harley-Davidson lifestyle. Now, from the beginning, there has been a special connection between the Harley customer and, of course, the company, thanks in large part to the many Harley-Davidson dealerships. My partner and colleague, Bill Walsh, is reporting live from one of them, Hal's Harley-Davidson out in New Berlin. How you doing there, Bill?
Mike, thank you very much. I'm here at Hal's Harley-Davidson in New Berlin, just off of Moreland Road, and I'm basically in the hub of everything. First of all, there are a ton of bikes getting here, a ton of riders getting here, ready to enjoy all the fun things there are to do at this dealership right now. Second of all, it's a little cloudy out here, so some folks are running out to get the moisture off those custom paint jobs because they don't want the water to ruin them. And then third of all, as you can see, there are just other folks walking around taking a look at all these really sweet custom paint jobs. I've got one right here. This is a bike called the Deuces Wild. It is kind of a deep green with the skulls on here and the chrome. It is looking fantastic. In fact, the owners were just out here making sure that it wasn't going to get too wet because they didn't want that nice paint job and then that nice chrome job ruined. Now, other than looking at all the bikes, there's plenty to do and see out here. There are 60 vendors here right now at Hal's Harley-Davidson in New Berlin, and twice that number in tents. So you could walk around for hours basically checking out all this fun stuff to do. Also, 2 stages of bands, motorcycle daredevils, tattoo artists, piercing artists, vendors, motorcycle maintenance, everything to do out here. It's a fantastic night. It's going to be a fantastic weekend. We're going to take you around all over the place. But right now, let's send it back to Michelle McCormack. She's at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Michelle?
Hey, Bill, so glad glad to hear that the rain is holding off. You know, we've had some cloudy skies overhead, too, that had us worried. So let's get a rundown on the forecast. The very latest from First Alert Weather and meteorologist Michael Schlesinger. Come on, Michael.
Hi, Michelle.
A lot of Hog fans, our hopes are riding on you.
Yeah, well, you know what? We lucked out today. The storms pretty much stayed west of Milwaukee proper, around Waukesha and Walworth counties. Now, a few leftover showers, some heavier showers around Beloit, all this slipping off to the south and east. Your temperatures, 76 Milwaukee, 80 Watertown, about 79 Fond du Lac. A cool front's going to slip on by as we get into the evening hours. We're talking about temperatures, Summerfest grounds throughout the evening in the 70s for the most part, and then eventually falling back into the 60s with time. So just hang on for that. Here's a look at the 7-day trend. 50-50 setup as we get into the holiday weekend. 77 Saturday, 83 on Sunday. Better chance of showers and storms, we're thinking, afternoon into the evening hours, and some of those could be on the stronger side. After that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, glorious weather for Labor Day Monday, 72 room temperature, 80 by Wednesday, and then after that, temperatures warm up a little bit, 75 to 80 into next weekend, perhaps a chance of showers and storms. Overnight lows mainly 50s and 60s. Of course, we'll have an updated forecast on this coming your way tonight at 10. Michelle, I wouldn't
Okay,
do,
Michael. You would do a lot, Michael. I don't know who you're kidding, but you get a free ride with that forecast. You know, Harley enthusiasts and their fans and just folks from Milwaukee and southeast Wisconsin who wanted to check it all out, even though they're not actually a rider, have been outdoors partaking in a lot of events. We've made stops here and there. It's a lot to keep up with, but check out some of the spots where we've been at. We should let you know. This is video from a street party on North Avenue. People started gathering at 4. This event goes on way into the night. Now, bikers are expected to be there until around 11:30, so there's plenty of time to head that way. To the northwest part of the city, the Elite Black Biker Jam. That's at Elin Park. This is an event that celebrates the black biker culture. Now, here's the interesting part. We're told by a lot of the organizers there that the most popular model is the Street Glide because of its style and its easy handling in urban areas. So if they're out and about in Milwaukee, it's certainly something they want to be at the controls of. Now, this event goes on until 9 tonight, so you don't have as much time to get there. But, you know, at the Harley-Davidson Museum here, all right, and at the Harley-Davidson Museum here, they're going to have rock bands until 9 o'clock at night, and then they also will take an acoustic turn at around 10 to midnight. So a nice way to cap things off here at the Harley-Davidson Museum. The other big deal going on here is the Custom Bike Show. No charge, you can check it out. But unfortunately, for one traveler from Detroit, Michigan, he didn't get here in time to get his bike in the show. So here you have it. Check it out. Is that a thing of beauty or what? This is the work of John Hubble. He's from the Zulu Motorcycle Club. And John, tell me about your ride.
Well, it's an '08 Street Glide, and I've been dumping nothing but money into this thing to make it look at the way it does. And I tried to get it here for the show. Didn't make it. We got here the night before. You had to have it registered before then. And couldn't make it. Sorry. So now I just come out here and get as much exposure as I can on it.
Well,
see what
you're getting exposure on CBS 58 right now. Tell me, what has the reaction been from folks who have been looking at it?
I get a lot of people taking pictures. I get a group of people everywhere I take it around my bike.
I bet you do.
I do.
You give any rides?
I try not to give any rides, and I try not to let anybody take pictures on it because
You never know.
then they put it on Facebook and say it was their bike.
Okay, well, we'll talk. Maybe I can get a ride by the end of the show. There's still... Oh, okay. I might get a free ride after all. Hey, there's still so much more ahead on Behind the Chrome. We're going to take a look back at Harley's history, and we're also going to look forward to fashion in the future. Stay with us, Behind the Chrome.
Welcome back to Behind the Chrome, our live one-hour special look at Harley-Davidson's 110th anniversary celebration. We're not only taking you out to where all the big parties are, like here at the Summerfest grounds, but behind the scenes as well. In fact, while digging into the history of this iconic motorcycle maker, I was given a backstage pass, if you will, into the history of Milwaukee Harley-Davidson, where I found a place where Milwaukee iron is treated like gold.
So we're walking now into third floor motorcycle storage. This is the motorcycles that are not on display in the museum.
Every great museum is supported by a thorough archives section. On the third floor of the Archives building at the Harley-Davidson Museum Complex, you'll find 300 vintage motorcycles preserved and displayed in a floor-to-ceiling modular system on tracks, allowing visitors on special tours access to a restricted and fascinating area.
The little corners of Harley history, as I call it, that people don't necessarily expect. It's really kind of a time machine when you think about it. It's a great glimpse back.
A glimpse back at Harley-Davidson history, all 110 years of it.
The lucky thing, I think, for us in the archives is that we're a 110-year-old company. There's no other motorcycle manufacturer in the world that can boast the history that Harley-Davidson can.
The history, I often use the words magical or a Cinderella story because we've had a lot of different chapters.
He made three basic kinds of motorcycles. The first one is what we call a tube frame.
It is an amazing story. It's a story that's studied in many universities and business schools. The many chapters we've been through.
Including Chapter 1, featuring friends and next-door neighbors William Harley and Arthur Davidson. Back in 1903, they built a single-cylinder motorcycle. By 1917, Arthur had signed up 800 dealers in all 48 states.
We think one of the reasons Harley is still here is because Arthur built this great dealer network of people who rode, people who knew the customers and knew the bikes. That became a competitive advantage.
That network also included police departments from coast to coast. Officers have been patrolling city streets and country roads on Harley-Davidson motorcycles since 1908.
It's actually one of the things in the tough times that helped keep the company going was police sales.
When America joined World War II in 1941, so did Harley-Davidson. In fact, the military accounted for almost all of Harley's output during the war years.
You also had people who got their first exposure to motorcycles in the service, and even wrote letters to the company saying, I can't wait to get back home and get myself a Harley.
American Machinery and Foundry, AMF, bought Harley back in 1969, the beginning of a 13-year period many hog lovers would rather forget. However,
had AMF not purchased Harley-Davidson, we would not be here today.
Unlike disco, Harley-Davidson survived the 70s, and in June of 1981, 13 executives purchased the company from AMF. And the phrase, the eagle soars alone, became a rallying cry.
That's really a period of Harley's probably biggest comeback. Just in the space of 2 to 3 years, went from near bankruptcy, not just to profitability, but just dashing out in front of its competition.
And did you notice what was written at the bottom of that restricted access sign in the Archives building? It said, violators will be sent to reform school. Just another example of the Harley-Davidson culture. A 110-year-old with plenty of attitude. Back to you, Michelle.
I love that. Reform school. I know a couple of co-workers who need that. Back live here at the Harley-Davidson Museum, where nobody can forget how long this company has endured. It's right there on the building, 1903, above a parking lot that has now become full again. It was jam-packed early in the afternoon. That wave of Harley enthusiasts kind of cleared out, and now a new round is rolling in. But these bikes didn't get to this pristine condition on their own. They had to start somewhere, and that somewhere is the Pilgrim Road Harley plant. I was there this morning, got a brief tour, but found out there's so much more.